There are so many incredible people. I mean, amazingly awesome people that can get triggered and go into an anger response fairly easily. I'm David Essel, and I want to talk about that today. And I'm going to ask you to grab your pen and paper because there are things that you need to look at inside yourself. If you're someone who gets frustrated easily, angered easily, if you're angered in traffic easily with your kids, with your partner, et cetera, we need to figure out what these triggers are. And that's the number one rule in regards to anger management. What are my triggers? So I'm going to ask you to write down. We all know that we have triggers. We all know there are certain things that really piss us off or frustrate us or make us angry, whatever it might be. And so the very first exercise is going to be, here's the 3 people, here's the 3 situations, here's the 3, whatever it might be, that trigger me, that I get frustrated more easily than I'd like. I get angered more easily than I like. Now, what are we going to do when we get those written down? Well, we need to look at tools, right? What are the tools that we can use? Number 1 is going to be disengagement. You know, if someone triggers you and they send you a text that pisses you off or an email that upsets you or says something on the phone and you choose not to reply in anger, you get off the phone and you write down, like, what angered me about that person's comment? Why did I get so frustrated? In other words, there's going to be some self-love here, which means teaching ourselves why we respond the way we do. When we get that written down, we can then start to say, I'm just going to disengage right now. You know, this person's going on and on about how they hate Trump or how they love Trump and it's really upsetting me, but I'm just going to listen. This is one of the first amazing choices that you have in anger. It's called disengagement. I'm going to just listen. And when they say, what do you think? I'm going to say, you know, I really don't have an opinion on it. And they push you harder. Oh, come on. The last time we talked about politics, yeah, I know. I don't go there anymore. You don't have any opinion at all? No, I honestly don't. So that's disengagement, right? That's disengagement. So let's say that you get angered and all of a sudden you're about to say something. And this is something the Buddhists teach all the time. Instead of coming out with an automatic knee-jerk subconscious response to what was said or done or whatever, we say to ourselves, thought. Now, you might think David Essel is crazy right now. You're sitting there angry, and I'm saying you to stop for a second and to say, thought. Why do the Buddhists feel that that's so powerful? Because it takes away the energy of your anger. When you look at your anger thought, you know, I'm so pissed at this person's an idiot, this person doesn't know how to drive, whatever it is, and then you go, thought. It automatically de-escalates your frustration. It automatically de-escalates your anger, right? There are so many different tools that we teach in regards to anger management, but getting to know your triggers and then dealing with the triggers. I mean, sometimes the triggers are people that you just walk away from. Sometimes the triggers are people you go, hey, listen, when you say these 5 or 6 things, or you tell me you're going to show up on time and you don't, or you tell me you're going to pay me back the money that you don't, you know, we need to come to a conclusion here, right? And sometimes the best conclusion is to take a big breath, say, thought. And then write out what you'd like to say to that person that owes you the money, that owes you the apology, that owes you whatever it might be. Write it out. You know, this is what happened. This is what he or she did. This is what he or she said. This is how they broke their promise about paying me back, whatever it might be, right? And then we ask ourselves, what are my options to respond? And this is where we get to know ourselves better. I can disengage. I can end the friendship, relationship, whatever it might be. I can tell the person, listen, you know, I've been going through a lot in life. I'm going to take 30 days off in order to give your body a chance to relax. At the end of 30 days, you can then say, hey, you know, after the last 30 days off, I don't really think it's a good idea for us to keep seeing each other. I don't think it's a good idea for us to stay connected as friendships. I have other things that I need to take care of. That's being an independent person, not a codependent person. That's being an independent person. Listen, this is not an easy subject for a lot of us because the knee-jerk reaction is called a subconscious reaction. And many times our frustrating responses or anger responses are so quick, so knee-jerk. We don't even have a chance to hesitate, to pull back, to disengage. That's why I say we need to write them down. When you write down what your triggers are, there's a better chance you'll be able to have a tool ready to deal with it when they come up versus the old automatic knee-jerk response. This could be massive for your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, your financial health, everything, as well as your health with others. I'm David Essel. Listen, we're offering everyone a free 20-minute session on the phone right now because the world is so crazy. If you'd like help in any area of life, just go to the website, talkdavid.com. davidessel.com or davidessel.com to the contact us page. Send an email. My team sets up the ASAP calls right away for free. Not a charge at all. And there will not be any kind of demand of a charge afterwards. Trust me, we don't play games. And then the second thing at the website is 5 of our top 16 best-selling books, absolutely free. Grab all 5 right now. I'm David Essel. I look forward to helping you with whatever you're going through in life. Have a beautiful day.